Welcome back to the video series that goes along with my 6-week Math Prep Workbook. I'm Mandy Balster, and this is week 2 for the workbook that I developed for students to use as they're getting ready for the math section of the ACT. Hopefully you've completed week 1 in the workbook and you're ready to get started on the next week. If you haven't watched week 1, go back and do that now, and if you need a workbook, see in the description or I'll tell you where to get one at the end of the video. Let's go ahead and begin with a warm-up for the week. Let's talk about slope, which gives us direction and steepness of a line. Slope is a topic that we often see on the ACT, and when we have a line, you can look at 2 points on the line and find the slope. It's the change in y over the change in x, or you may have heard rise over run, or y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Today we're going to review observations we can make about slope from graphs. So first we have a positive slope. Notice that the line is increasing and it goes up from left to right. This second graph, we have a negative slope. The line is decreasing. It goes down from left to right. Then we have a zero slope. Notice the line is horizontal. It's a constant. And finally, in this graph, we have an undefined slope. The line is vertical. Remembering how a positive, negative, zero, or undefined slope looks when you graph it can help you in choosing the correct answer. Depending on how the question is asked, you may be able to eliminate choices from a quick observation alone. This is your math ACT prep time. You're putting time into it, so make it count. As you're working through practice questions, try not to just hurry to get through it just to get finished. There's a purpose for all of this. Hopefully you have an ACT goal score in mind, what you need to get into a college of your choice, or what you need for scholarships. This is your time, and we want to use ACT Prep to figure out the best methods for you. So how do you work best? That's what we're going to find out as we work through different questions. As you're working through the workbook with 5-a-days, the blitz questions, and challenge questions, think about where your focus area on the test should be. The math questions on the ACT usually begin less challenging, moving towards more challenging questions. That's not always the case though. But if you're challenged by the 5-a-day basic skills questions, it may be a good idea to focus on the first half of the test. Get as many of those correct as you can. As you prepare more, you can move into the more challenging questions and continue to do better each time that you prepare. Some people feel good about the basic skills and should focus more on the more challenging questions to increase their scores. In week 2, we're adding a timing factor with your blitz questions. Our goal should be around 1 minute per question. Some questions will take you more time, some questions are going to take less time, so we want all that to average together to around a minute a question. You're in training now, so try to gain an awareness of time as you work these problems. Are you spending too much time on a question? During prep, that's okay. In practice test mode though, I encourage students to time yourselves. See where you stand. Do you need to improve your timing? On the real test, there may be times you have to skip a question and move on. You can't spend too much time on any one question unless you've already answered all of the questions and you're on your second pass through. All questions count the same, so you may be able to answer 3 to 4 questions correctly to one that's taking you quite a bit of time to figure out. Take the 3 to 4 correct questions over that one every time. Depending on your background with math classes you've already taken, you may need more time to focus on each question. You're only going to know this though through practice. No matter where you start, the goal of prep is to help you always strive to work more questions and work them better, correctly. Everyone can get through all the questions eventually. It takes practice and work, like anything else that's important to you. One final tip to share this week before you get started. Practice using a wood number 2 pencil. If you plan to use these types of pencils on the test, practice with them now. You may not think it matters, and maybe it doesn't make a difference to you, but find out in prep time versus during the test. So hopefully you have your workbook and you're ready to start on week number 2. If you don't have a copy, you can get one several ways. See the description below or check out the video clip at the end of this video. It's time to get started on week 2. 5 days of activities. Leave us any questions in the comments and we'll talk again before you begin week 3. To get your own copy of the 6-week Math Prep Workbook, visit my website, teachmathwithme.com. Click on the link for the 6-week Math Prep Workbook. You can grab a free sample to try it out. Scroll down and click on the button, Download Free Sample. Give me your email address and I'll send it on over to you. If you're ready to go ahead and get a paperback version, you can get the workbook from Amazon in a traditional workbook form with a glossy cover. It will be mailed to you by Amazon. You can also get a Kindle version from Amazon, but you won't be able to print this one out. To download and print your own copy of the workbook, back on my website, go to the Resources tab, and that will take you to my Teachers Pay Teacher store. With this version, you can print a copy out on a personal printer or send it to a print shop. I like to specify spiral bound for my local printer. Get this version here. You can find all these links, a free sample, and more info at my website, teachmathwithme.com. Look for all the links you need in the description as well.